Hello everyone, this is Remleiz from 40k Theories, and welcome to this new episode of Adeptus Podcastus. And joining me as always is Tactica Imperialis.
As always, when's the last time the two of us actually sat down and recorded an episode?
In fairness, I think, the last scheduled episode was over on Boxing Day, and that would have been a bit unfair on you because the kid and all that. So let's be honest, it's perfectly reasonable why we took that that week off. I don't think anyone.
And I had the episode before that off.
Yes,
and you had the episode before that off.
I was ill, in fairness, and you were busy with other stuff.
Yes, I should probably explain why the fact I disappeared for 6 weeks. I'll keep it brief. Let's just say that the gun drone has been upgraded to marker drone, mostly because of pointing at everything and saying what it is. And there is a new gun drone. Yes, there is a second baby tack, and that's all I'm going to say about it, if that's all right. They are currently not here. That's why they're not getting a special feature as a special guest. They are away seeing family, so I am not going to bring them with me onto this show. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But yes, the gun drone is now the marker drone, and there is a new gun drone on the scene. That's where I was when Rem was recording with Aurelia, who did a stellar job in my place, as always, is I was dealing with that. I'm still exhausted.
I can imagine. I did want to ask you, though, what did you think of the cost of that Dark Hunters book?
There is a desk and I must head it.
You can buy an apartment for that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Oh god, yeah, especially in this economy.
God, yeah. Anyway, we're not here to talk economics, at least not our economics. We're here to talk about Warhammer, and it's kind of fortuitous that we haven't been here for an entire ass month, because there's been, nope, not going to swear because the algorithm doesn't like it, there has been nothing pretty much for the entire month. Literally, I went through all of the articles from Aurelia's episode to today, which is a month to the day for those keeping count, and I found 7 things worth talking about. And yes, I could have talked about the Maggotkin and Nurgle rules and the new Necron units rules when they come out in the 500 World stuff, which is on pre-order at the moment. Of course I could, but realistically, I haven't played the game outside of playing it with literal 12-year-olds for about 3 years. So I am very rusty on what actually matters in competitive play, and the only Necron player we have doesn't own a mini, they use ones that we have. So doesn't really affect me, and I've got a Lieutenant Titus. If I want to play Captain Titus, I'll just use him. So, shrug.
Shrug indeed. Well, what we can talk about instead is the winner of the Miniature of the Year.
Yes, well, miniatures, because they actually decided to do something sensible and segregate the categories to stop the Primarchs winning every year. Except this year that didn't happen.
No, I'm actually genuinely shocked about that.
Yes, Fulgrim got second in the popular vote and lost to Logan Grimnar.
Yeah, that was surprising. I didn't expect Logan to get first place. I mean, it's not a bad mini at all by any means. It's actually a pretty good mini, but I just genuinely didn't expect it to get to number 1. Because I think we were all expecting Fulgrim to get to number 1, because every time a Primarch gets entered in this, it always fucking wins.
Yes, I think, however, that's exactly the problem, is that a lackadaisical, Fulgrim's going to win anyway, I'll throw my vote to a mini I actually like, has ended up costing Fulgrim in a weird way, I suspect, or just the whole snake demon 4-armed sex god aesthetic just doesn't appeal to as many people compared to I used to be Santa Claus, but then I got edgy.
Yeah. I'm now reminded of that Christmas movie that Goldberg did, Santa's Sleigh, with a killer Santa.
Oh, God. Although, speaking of edgy...
his wife on the set of that movie, by the way. Do you know that?
Nope, I did not. Although, speaking of edgy, Aethon Shan got 3rd.
That's who I voted for, in fairness.
Oh, fair enough. I think I voted for... I can't remember now who I voted for. But Lycus got 4th. I thought he'd have come higher. Lord Marshal Drea of the Death Corps got 5th. I, again, because so much shovel interest, assumed that would do well.
The memes.
Infinity's Lament to the Wraith Seer Right? That's not a word. Spirit Seer, with the downed Wraith Lord, the Warhammer Plus mini, got 6th. The
I
Lord
think
of...
Wraith Seers are a thing, in fairness.
Fair enough. The Lord of Poxes, that Death Guard mini that got leaked with the massive cleaver on its back, got 7th. Lucius came 8th. I'm sure he's crossed that he didn't come 6th. Suboden Khan came 9th. And Lady Malice came 10th. Oh, I think I actually voted for Lady Malice because bias.
Ah, fair enough.
So she got 10th. On the flip side, Age of Sigmar, I'm going to be honest, some weird voting in Age of Sigmar. Because apparently there were just a lot of vampire enjoyers. Because both Prince Vodrai, who won, and the Revenant Draconith came 3rd. So the same kit was voted to be in the top 3 twice.
Yeah, I don't think that should have been allowed if it's the same kit. It shouldn't be allowed. It should be like, if you vote for, I don't know, there shouldn't be separate votes. They should just count as one entry.
Although it's telling how popular the kit was, that it was able to split its own...
Kit.
But it split its own vote and still got 2 podium finishes, which is telling for just how popular it was.
I mean, in fairness, the vampires have been doing very well in terms of sculpts because they've been getting some great minis out recently.
Yeah, they also got 5th with the White King on Steed and 8th with the Vampire Lord on Nightmare Steed. So they've literally taken out nearly half of the top 10 on their own.
Vampires are to Age of Sigmar what Space Marines are to 40k, it seems.
Apparently. Stormcast were nowhere. Actually, what's the summons? Oh, that's the other Warhammer Plus mini. Correction, they did take half of the top 10 because the Warhammer Plus Vampire mini got 9th. I tell a lie. Half of the top 10 were blooming Soulblight. The rest of them were taken by Urkan the Dark Warden, the anniversary miniature, who is incredibly boring but apparently got 2nd. It's a good mini, but
I want to point out as well to those watching that I'm not going to put images for every single entry up because I can't be bothered, so I'm just going to put the first place entries in. I'll put a link in the video description if you want to see the full list of winning minis.
Indeed. In 4th was the Hellsmith of Hashut Dominator engine. Valid vote, to be honest.
Oh god, yeah, that's a great mini.
6th was the first Demon Smith, so the guy riding the giant bull steed, the Infernal Taurus. Which also came 10th as the non-named character kit, got 10th. And Drogs the Sun Chomper is the only representative that wasn't a vampire or a dwarf. So apparently this was the year of diggy, lots of holes, even if they have skeletons in them. And yes, Drogs was the only one who... Indeed. And Drogs came 7th, so at least something that wasn't a vampire or a dwarf, or chaos in general, made the top 10. As for everybody else, because everybody else shares, the winner was, I think, completely deserved. It's Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon.
Oh god, yeah, that's a fantastic mini.
Yeah, there's
absolutely deserved.
No argument. 2nd was the Saturnine Praetor.
That surprised me.
I'm not surprised it was good, but that high.
That's what I mean. It's that being that high was surprising. I expect it to be like, maybe a top 10, obviously, but maybe not, second place.
The entire box of Warhammer Quest Darkwater was lumped together to get 3rd. Like, not just the Nurgle bits, not the heroes, the whole box was just lumped together for 3rd place. The Saturnine Dreadnought came 4th. The Cathayan Sky Lantern 5th. The Shugengan...
I can see why I got so many votes, because it's such a crazy model.
Indeed. The Shugengan Lord on Great Spirit Longma came 6th, a great Cathayan mini again. A different configuration of the Saturnine Dreadnought got 7th. Apparently the Chiron got 3rd and the Ophion came 7th. Make fucking sense. The Thanatar Siege Automata got 8th. I think that is criminally low.
Oh god, yeah.
The Cathayan Sentinels got 9th. Again, criminally low. And the Caster of Runes, so the Space Wolf console Psyker thingy, was 10th. I admit I am seriously surprised at some of the minis missing, like particularly from Mechanicum. I really thought Mechanicum would have more than one mini in the top 10. Like, what are they called? Not the priests. You know the ones, the priests who are like walking guns. Like they're still.
Oh, God,
Oh, beans. I know
was it
exactly what.
Domitar?
I can't remember. Oops.
Was it the one that had the heavy Domitars recently, wasn't it?
They released them. I was the episode that I did that you weren't on. I remember because I talked about them a bunch.
I think it was heavy Domitar or something.
I'm scrolling. I'm literally scrolling so far back. Also, no Necromunda, can we point out?
That's a damn shame, that is. Because Necromunda is consistently top tier.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I still think that is a criminal miss.
I mean, like not putting what's his name, Ozentium Aranthus, the new guy with the gold armor,
who's also a zombie,
yeah, him not being in the top 10's a fucking crime.
The Myrmidon Destructor host.
Myrmidon, that's it.
Yeah, them are awesome minis. I would have said. But yeah, there's no Necromunda at all, which just surprises me. Like, I thought Darkwater would do well, and I figured Miao Ying, obvious best mini.
We knew Miao Ying was going to win, let's be honest.
But I definitely think Necromunda has been overlooked this year.
It has been.
But
sort yourselves out.
Well. Let's see if the votes went any better in the Book of the Year segment.
Yeah, because I'm still surprised about the fact that like some of the books you could vote for weren't even available at the time before like your voting closed, or if they were, like some of them they went on pre-order before the voting closed, but people wouldn't have been able to get them before the votes closed. And I think
hype.
I think Ashes of the Imperium was one of those books that was on pre-order before voting closed, but most people didn't get until after the voting closed. So it's weird.
So just carried on hype.
Pretty much, yeah. Because I know, like Demolisher was one that was on there for nomination, and that book wasn't even like out yet.
Yes, well, the actual top 10 was Tomb World, which I don't think had come out, or it only just come out.
Tomb World had come out, yeah, because that's the one with the female cryptek, isn't it?
Yep. Remnant Blade, the Night Lord novel.
Not read it, but I've heard good things, because it's got the Sons of Malice in it, apparently.
Oh, Christ. Grotsnick came 8th.
That's who I voted for.
Shout. Fulgrim came 7th.
Yeah, it shouldn't be higher than Grotsnick, I'm sorry. I mean, it was a decent book, but it wasn't as good as Grotsnick, in my opinion.
The Era of Ruin anthology got 6th.
Okay, yeah, I can see that, because it's like the closing to the Siege of Terror. Yeah, fair enough.
Ashes of the Imperium somehow 5th.
Yeah, I know some people managed to get it, but I think that one was carried purely on hype, if I remember correctly, in regards to the release dates. I'm pretty sure that one was carried on hype.
Archmagos 4th.
Not read it. I've heard some things about it that are interesting, but some of it makes me go like, okay.
Yeah, because what's the plot
I can't judge. I can't judge on that one because I've not read it, obviously. So.
Yeah, well, I probably have a bit of insight into it because I've read the Silent King from Dawn of Fire, so I think I have a little bit of insight, even if I haven't read it.
Oh, God.
And then the top 3 were Interceptor City. It's Dan Abnett, no surprises there.
I'm generally surprised an Imperial Navy book got that high.
It's Dan Abnett.
Yeah, I know, but Dan Abnett doesn't hit 100% all the time, though, in fairness. Like, he has put out some stinkers. Hot take, I know, because no one bats 1,000. Just like, you got some authors who are like, traditionally looked down upon, but then some of them do write absolute bangers every now and again. So
Guy Haley.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thing is with Guy Haley, like, the reason I rip on him so hard is because I know he can do better. That's the main reason I rip on him, because I've seen him do things like Dante and, Devastation Above, so I know he's got it in him to actually do some good shit.
Indeed.
That's why I'm so hard on him, because you're better than this.
Yeah, I think the only author who I can't think of a book where they've missed is ADB, although I'm willing to be corrected. Second, speaking of people who do not miss often, Mike Brooks with Void Scarred.
Not read it. I've heard mixed things about it, but again, not read it, so I can't judge.
Although that is Mike Brooks' 3rd podium in a row, because Son of the Forest was his book, Lilith Hesperax was his book.
Lilith Hesperax was shit, though.
it got third. Don't fucking ask me.
The Lilith Hesperex novel was just dreadful because it started off really strong and it just quickly devolved into fan fiction tier writing. With Lilith Hesperex, albino goth girlfriend. It's like, okay, this sounds like something I see on DeviantArt,
And the winner was Drop Site Massacre. This surprised me at the time, and I have no idea why.
I've heard really good things about that book, in fairness.
I mean, it's John French.
Really
John French doesn't miss often.
No. And again, like from what I've heard from some people, like Hoodguard, for instance, they've read it and they've went on about how fucking amazing it was. And they generally have good taste. So it's like, okay, I'm inclined to believe them.
Yeah, I take it as read that it's a good book. Like I say, John French does not miss often. And when he does, it's because it's get convoluted. Cloth Araman. But like that series was so good, and then it just got really fucking confusing. But I've ranted about the Iron series enough. So yeah, I was surprised, then not surprised, but still slightly bemused that it ended up being, well, it's heresy. Most people who read books end up are the heresy readers rather than the AOS or 40k readers. I reckon the number of people who read heresy is probably as high, if not higher. So maybe that's why. So yes, yeah.
Again, I heard really good things about that book, so I'm not surprised that got to number one. For just hearing from the general reception it got, so what, fair enough.
However, there are more books coming that have already been revealed, which I think are very interesting. So, David Annandale is back, writing Chaos with the Wordbearers book Apostle.
See, the title annoys me because there's already a Wordbearers book called Dark Apostle, so it's just going to get confusing. You got Dark Apostle and Apostle. It's going to get confusing, in my opinion.
Well, the idea is actually very interesting, because a Wordbearer...
It's Wordbearers against Deathcore, isn't it?
No, it's Wordbearers against Sisters.
Oh.
So we're on a scripture world, essentially, a scribe world that writes holy scripture.
That's interesting.
And his Wordbearers warband have already lost.
Oh, that's an interesting wrinkle.
So the Sororitas have wiped his entire warband out, and he's alone on a scribe world, hidden, having to try and turn a holy world against the faith, to have revenge on what was apparently his home world. Apparently, it says here. So he's going to try and chaosify his own homeworld from within without being sniffed out by the sisters who've already wiped his entire faction out.
Do you know what? This gives me vibes similar to that of Lord of the Night, which was just like, a lone Night Lord on a hive world. This is giving me similar vibes, like a lone word bearer on, like, a holy world. I'm loving this premise.
Yeah, it also reminds me of Day of Ascension a little bit, the Genestealer Cults novel, where it's this hidden uprising on a Forge world. That was a wider community because it's Genestealer Cults, but the concept remains the same. It's a different place to take most factions, from putting them on the front and center. We are on the attack, or we are being invaded, to no, we're on our own.
It's not bolter porn. It's not bolter porn. Hooray!
Also that. However, you do want some deathcore and you fancy your variants less bolt and more las, then there is a deathcore novel. It's called Death Rider by Rory James, which I will just pop for you. Which is about a commissar. So it says here, a commissar is separated from his regiment, stranded on a dying world, ordered to get a siege regiment of the Death Corps off-world before they kill themselves against the Tau.
That's an interesting matchup, Death Corps and Tau. That's an interesting matchup. So that's not one we've generally seen before, is it?
No, it isn't. But I think the concept is also, we get an insight into just how hard is it to stop the Death Corps suicide charging.
This could actually be an interesting Death Corps book for once.
Yes, it's definitely a different place to take them. Like, right, we know Commissars in the Death Corps, their whole thing is about stopping the men from spending their lives needlessly. But this is an interesting way of, right, we're not just trying to keep you alive. I'm trying to get you to actually fucking leave. I get you off-world. You need to go. But Commissar, no, we must fight to our end because that is all we are good for, or whatever it is the Death Corps say. Courage and Shovels. I will not.
Yes.
Yes. So it will be. I think that's an interesting place. So that's the guy who wrote "The Gobbo Rides Again." In case you remember that name.
Yes. Yes. It does ring a bell, yes.
Yes. There's also an AOS novel that's been revealed for Talia Vedra called First Marshal, which is good because that's a character about which we know precious little outside.
She's the Manticore rider, isn't she?
I think it's a Manticore. Yeah, she's the big boss of the Cities of Sigmar now.
The giant flying lion.
Yes, I think it's a Manticore.
Yeah.
I'm 99% it's a Manticore. So yes, she's getting a novel as well, which I think is good because A, more Cities of Sigmar stuff is always useful. They've really gone cold on Stormcast. And B, that's a new character they've introduced. So I think it's a good idea to give her some time in the sun in her own novel. And she's going up against the Hellsmiths of Hashut, so it's also a Chaos Dwarves antagonist novel as well.
Which will be good for them, obviously, as well.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's the Manticore, yeah.
Yeah, I love the front cover. It's a fantastic cover.
That's gorgeous art. It reminds me of like an old fantasy novel from the 1980s or something.
Because you can see the realm gate between Hammerhall Gyra and Hammerhall Aksha in the background because it's set in Hammerhall. And there's a lot of we've got to rally the troops before the Hellsmiths of Hashut can pull some BS out. And Evan Dickon, I can speak from experience, has written some absolute bangers in Age of Sigmar. Like at least one Lumineth novel is his.
Nice.
And he also wrote Lioness of the Parch, which I'd forgotten was a novel about her. So actually, this is not her first novel; it's the second one. That shows me how memorable that novel was. But yes, clearly she is popular and she's doing a bloody good job. So more of her, I think, is a good thing. Give someone that's not a Stormcast some spotlight. Nice.
Yes.
Right. And now we get to the one mini that's actually worth talking about.
Yes. Huron Blackheart, which came as a massive surprise. And I have to say, I fucking love this mini. I think it's great.
This mini,
the face is a little iffy, but I can forgive that. It could just be the paint job in fairness. So but I think this mini's great overall.
My first impression I looked at it is this miniature is grotesque. Mostly I was looking at its face, but that's a good thing. Was my initial reaction. But I've just literally done a little spot test. I put my finger over the head and looked at it as if I didn't see his face and assumed that was just a basic helmet, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like, as a Chaos Lord, putting aside the mangled head, and actually there's another mini for the Red Corsairs that they've got leaked, I believe, that we need to talk about later. I just need to find it. Again, if this comes with the helmeted option, then every single Chaos Lord ever just got invalidated because this mini is sickeningly good. As Huron, I think it's great. I don't think it's one of those because his old mini, his face just looked scarified, not half cybernetic monstrosity that made Gazkul look humanoid. So it is a change, but the Tyrant's Claw, the Axe, and the Hamadria, all of it looks really, really good.
I think it's to tie the model's appearance with the more recent artwork of him, like on his novel, for instance.
True.
Because that does give him a more cybernetic appearance, because his background did state that most of his body was rebuilt with cybernetics after taking up, a point-blank melter blast, so...
That is true. So yeah, I think it's not a bad thing that they've done it because it matches up with the lore and all of those things. I don't think it's a bad thing. It just is quite grotesque and it does catch you off guard a little bit if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, and I guarantee that model's probably going to cost about 45 fucking quid.
Probably.
Because that's how much Abaddon's costs.
Yeah, and he's not coming alone because... Excuse me.
Wakey.
Forgive me. Because on Friday, at the time of recording, so that's going to be the 16th of January, there is a preview, a New Year's preview show, and thanks to, I believe, leaks, one of the minis that was there has already been revealed, which is a mini that I'm very happy to see. It is Garyon the Corpse Master, the Red Corsairs Apothecary.
Yes, a guy who, looking at his face, I see that face, and my mind immediately thinks, I bet he sounds like Starscream.
Reference.
Oh, how it pains me to do this, taking your gene seed. Kind of thing.
Maybe so. But either way, also, I think this is the first Chaos Apothecary not named Fabius Bile, and that to me is just a good thing.
No, there was a Death Guard one a while back. Like an 8th edition, there was a Death Guard one.
No. Well, it's the first one wearing white.
Yes, it is.
It's definitely the first one wearing white. Which I didn't realise that the Chaos kept up. I didn't realise that many Renegade and Traitor Warbands did
Corsairs.
that.
Red Corsair, former Loyalist chapter, wasn't it? So
yes, but, they're not Loyalist anymore, so I'm surprised they're still following the Loyalist convention.
In fact, he probably just couldn't be bothered to repaint his own. I was like, I'm not repainting all this white.
Yeah, because Astral Claws was silver with blue, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes, I did remember that correctly. And I like the fact
Maybe
that...
he just likes to see how it looks when he get all the blood splattering all over him. Maybe he just likes that.
Maybe. And I love the fact that the mini he's standing on, his tactical corpse, is a fellow Red Corsair who looks to be grabbing at his loincloth, like, please help. Please don't take my gene seed and kill me. It's like, no, I don't think I will. Die.
Again, how it pains me to do this.
Indeed. So yes, this is the guy who put Huron back together, in case you're wondering where the two link together. And they actually revealed the silhouettes of the rest of the Red Corsairs minis that they're going to be showing, presumably at the preview. And I have to admit, just hot take, we've got what looks like a blooming servitor is stood so stock still at the far left, the Axeman, Chief Executioner, a priest. I think that looks sick from a floating lectern. I've always liked floating lecterns. It reminds me of the I swear there's a Mechanica mini that did or does that. Then a sorcerer, and is that the Harmadria getting its own mini?
I'm not sure, but in regards to the one on the left, far left, I've seen some people saying that's a Votan Ironjack, like a mercenary.
If so, cool as fuck.
Because someone actually pointed out it actually matches some of the details from the rumor engine. Let me see if I can actually find some of the things that people pointed out. Where is it? God.
Oh, why you go digging?
Keep talking. I'll just look for it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Why you say that? We've known about the Votan being mercantile and mercenary, but would it make sense for them to do something like this and have a traitor chaos Votan? Because the Votan aren't loyal to the Imperium. Fuck that noise. So they'll go wherever the money is. And so I like the idea that there is a traitor Votan, or kin, I should say. I think that's a great concept to take the faction. So I think it's just a great pick to have it there, if that's indeed what it is.
I'm still trying to find the picture. Oh, God.
Well, I'm trying to think. My Red Corsairs lore knowledge is out of date. I'm trying to think what the other named Red Corsair characters are, and thus who this is, or who the other characters are.
I think the guy with the axe is a former Space Wolf, because there was there's like a mini warband in the Red Corsairs called, I think they call like the Blood Wolves or something like that.
Yes, thanks to the Wolf of Fenris story, which is an amazing story. They're all short. I'm just booting up Lexicanum in the background to see if I can find named characters as part of the Red Corsairs. So I can just throw some names out. Here we go. That's relics. That's vessels. Notable members. Here we go. Oh, Armanius Valthex, the Master of the Forge. Garland Soul Eater will be probably the Sorcerer Lord on the right. That will be Katar Garrix, the Headsman, with the axe.
Ah, okay.
I should think. Who is... Does it say where he's from? Nope, he's just from the Master of the Maelstrom novel. It doesn't say which warband or which chapter they're originally from.
Okay, I found an image from the rumor engine thing, if I can just copy paste it. That does support the idea of it being an Ironjack, because some of the details do look very Votan, you got a Votanish gun and the Votan power fist type thing.
Yeah, it definitely isn't it's a shotgun. It's definitely a shotgun, not a bolter.
Yeah, and it's definitely too tall to be a kin, so it's probably an Ironjack.
Would make
whatever they're called.
Yes, it would make some amount of sense. for them to do that. They do have a Cybernetica datasmith as part of the faction, but I don't think that that's who that guy is. I think that what we're looking at here is Armanius Valthex, who's on the plinth, the Master of the Forge, because it reminds me of the Mechanicum. Garland Soul Eater and Katar Garrix, though I am quite happy to be wrong. And we are not going to talk about anything that was in those leaks. I know that there was a little bit more, but we're not going to talk about it because they're leaks. We'll talk about it in the next episode when they get officially revealed.
Yes, because they're bound to be officially revealed by next episode.
Yes, and they actually hint underneath faster and pointier pirates, so they're doing more Eldari Corsairs anyway. That's what they're doing.
Yes.
It says it in...
And speaking of Eldari, the Altark?
Yes, the store anniversary images for 2026.
How's that for a segue?
That's a very good segue. That's good. That's called working together. Setup and slam dunk. So, the store anniversary 40 game entry this year is called Path of Command. It is an Autark. Okay.
I like it. And in fairness, it's always nice to see a nice proper Eldari figure. It's always nice to see like a one done that's really done really well.
Indeed. I don't know whether the current, because didn't they do a multi-part Autark kit with the last Eldari release, or am I going mad?
They did, yeah.
Like, could the modern Autark kit make that? Like, is the combination of what's it called, fusion pistol and starglaive something that the Autark kit contains? Could you make that? I don't know.
Couldn't tell off the top of my head, but what I could tell you is that when the kit was first released, like if you tried to make the configuration that was on the artwork for the codex, it wasn't tabletop legal. That I do remember because I had to actually put like a little thing on the website about that. It's like, whoops.
Oh, for Christ's sake, GW, talk to your art department.
Do you remember for a time where they were saying the Chaos Lord would jump back and lightning claws, and you couldn't actually use it in the codex at the time?
Yes, I know,
tabletop legal.
because I bought one as a thank you present for one of the sixth formers who left Warhammer Club. I painted them in Nightlord colours with like hand-drawn lightning bolts and fucking everything. Like a thank you for your service. Here's a mini that no longer fucking works.
And yet it's still being sold.
Well, now they put the new Chaos Lord with jump pack, so it is now game legal again. But fucking hell. GW. The other one, I don't know who painted this or what paint style they've gone with. It's called, I'll just script his name off. Corthrain, the Crimson Blade. It's a vampire lord, and they've done it like a matte painting.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, I don't know how they've done that, but that's a really interesting paint style.
Do you know what? I see a lot of people taking this model and converting it into a Drukhari Archon.
Swap the sword, and you're there.
Yeah.
Maybe swap the head, maybe, for a Drukhari helmet.
Give him a helmeted head and change the weapon, and you got an Archon.
Yeah, I mean, Soulblight vampires and Drukhari have always had this sort of... The vampires and the Drukhari have always looked a little bit similar, because the Drukhari have vampiric... Well, soul vampiric tendencies. Sharp, spiky edges, and plate armor, and whatnot. So, yes, I definitely think that's right. Also, it reminds me a lot of one of the vampires from the Crimson Court. Do you remember that amazing Underworld warband from like 5-6 years ago?
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, It reminds me of him a lot, and I loved that mini. In fact, I'm going to go and get that so that the comments can see who I'm talking about. Crimson Court, Warhammer. Go into the image, you know.
Whammer. It's like Waluigi. Like, wah.
Yes. Thank you.
Or Seth Rollins, whenever he laughs, like, ha, ha, ha. It's like, shut up, Seth.
Yes, so sort of a combination of two of the vampires from the Crimson Court. I really like what they've done with this mini. So I just thought I'd put that in there so people know what I'm on about.
Fair enough.
So yes, that is the special minis this year of store anniversary. If you want to go in, I think they're an upgrade on the Kroot that they had last year, and that's saying something as a tower player. But there you go. Finally, there are some battle forces. Apparently, the Year of Chaos was not chaosy enough. It wasn't chaosy at fucking all. So they decided to do some more chaos battle forces, and including another Emperor's Children one. Like, they literally just did an Emperor's Children Christmas battle force, and now they're doing another one.
Yeah, but this one doesn't have Fulgrim, though.
No, it has a Demon Prince, along with like 12 Noise Marines and 20 tormentors stroke infractors.
I mean, it's a solid enough core for an army.
Oh, it's a great core for an army. Combine it, particularly with you had the starter box or the Fulgrim box, you've kind of got a bit of everything.
Mm.
So, approve. World Eaters, they got a Khorne Demonkin battle force. Do you remember the Khorne Demonkin Codex from 6th edition?
I did. I do, in fact. And in fact, in that codex, you could actually take Samus.
For reasons. But yes,
well, because back then he was actually Khorne Demon. Because in 8th edition, he actually had the Khorne faction keyword as well.
Yeesh. So yes, this faction is basically it's 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10 Khorne Berserkers, one of their headsman lords, I've forgotten their names, a Juggernaut Lord, and the rest of it is 6 Blood Crushers, 20 Bloodletters. So there's a shit ton of demons and no jackals anywhere. Hooray.
I mean, 6 Blood Crushers is no joke, so.
Indeed. Why does it... I was just trying to find the name of that lord, of the foot lord, the headsman, and I can't literally find his name. Never mind. Thousand Suns. I'm cross. I don't like this battle force. It doesn't have any Zangor.
Let me guess. I was going to say, is it 5 Terminators and 20 Zangor again?
No, it's 10 Terminators and a Mutilith.
And a Sorcerer. 2 Sorcerers, in fact. 3 Sorcerers, in fact.
3 exalted Sorcerers and an Infernal Master, to be exact.
I mean, it's better than the battle force that had the fucking Zangor in it, let's be honest. It's better.
Yeah, it's just one of the Thousand Suns roster is so limited. Like, you've got Rubricae, Zangors, Demons, and Scarab Occult. Like, they have nothing else apart from vehicles. Like, it's good to see the Mutilith represented. Like, shout out the Mutilith. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Why didn't they put a Slaughter Brute into the Khorne box just to be funsies? But, oh well.
Because the Slaughter Brute doesn't have any rules in 40k.
Which is stupid.
I know, it's the same fucking kit.
I know! And then finally, the Death Guard got one, the Vile Victorium. Great name. Which contains, and I quote, Lord Felthius, 3 Tainted Cohort Bodyguards, 3 Death Shroud Terminators, 3 Fetid Bloat Drones, and then 20 Poxwalkers. So, the most chaff and elites thing you will ever see. Also, where is Lord Felthius from?
I can't remember, to be honest. But basically, this is just if the Thousand Suns Zangor box that was actually good.
Yeah, Lord Felthius. When was this mini released?
I can't remember.
It's a Lord of Contagion.
I'll tell you what they should do, though. Do you remember the unique models from the Dark Imperium starter set? Like you had the Death Lord who had the giant axe with like a symbol of Nurgle carved into it.
Shout.
They should release him again.
Shout. Yeah, that's a shout. All right, I'm going in Lexicon and I'm going to find out where this kit comes from because it doesn't have a Warhammer community article.
Ha!
Literally doesn't have. It doesn't have an article on Warhammer community, which is mental.
Oh dear.
Dear. Corvon 2? Oh, it's from the Conquest series.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah, so it's a Lord and 3 special Terminators from the Conquest series, apparently.
I mean, it's great that those models are getting a wider release, in fairness, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's if you don't know what mini we're talking about because you can't really see it in the initial mini, it's this Lord of Contagion who's got that really derby face.
Look at him, he's loving it.
Yeah, like that doesn't jog my memory, and yet there's a tiny little anecdote at the back of my brain. I remember a Lord with that face, although it might have been an older mini that's been redesigned here. I don't know.
I remember.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I just wanted to make a Memberberry reference.
Oh, never mind.
Like, remember Steve Blackman? I remember Steve Blackman.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Steve Blackman was awesome, in fairness. He was absolutely badass.
Indeed. Right. There's one other thing that I want to just mention for those who are like me and like trying to get more people into Warhammer just to grow the influx of nerds in the world. There is a challenge this year. The New Year's challenge is called 1 million minis, where the idea is essentially getting 1 million miniatures painted worldwide. You head down to your local store, you pledge to paint a certain amount by May, any system, any size, any faction, any game, whatever. Although you can, big stuff will also obviously be more useful. And it will go onto the store's hub, you add it all up, and you'll get a badge, a water part, a paintbrush tin, whatever. But the second challenge is called Call to Arms, which is a tracking card that as it allows you to refer people to GW stores, and if they get certain things, then you get extra bit. I mean, they just sound like stickers, to be completely honest. It sounds completely fucking pointless. But you also get apparently badges, a gaming dashboard, or a brush holder. If you go all the way, get 5 people into the hobby, you get a fucking brush holder. But for someone like me who has Warhammer Club and will be trying in September, I want to get in there in time for the challenge, but who could try and get people involved in the hobby, then, talk to your friends, get a little slip from your store, send them along, and if they buy, I think it's either a starter set or a combat patrol or a spearhead, you officially get the referral. So it is a big expense, I guess. I don't know. It's a nice idea, try and get more people in, but why have they tied it behind them buying fucking combat patrols? They're too expensive.
Well, you got to make margins somehow, haven't you?
They don't need to make more margins. They're so fucking profitable. I don't need to make more in the margins. Jesus Christ.
If you're profitable, your next goal is to be even more profitable. That's how business works. It's called market capitalism.
Fucking capitalism. Also, boarding actions are back. They never left, but they've officially been reminded that they exist as part of the 500 Worlds campaigns. They've actually put a focus on boarding actions again.
Hey, remember boarding actions? I remember.
Yeah, I do.
I got back to use that joke again. Hooray!
God, I should use the same joke. I actually quite like it because I've got a thing in the Warhammer Club campaign of a Zone Mortalis style mission. So it would actually be really useful if I could get a boarding actions rules to go with it, but it doesn't matter to me that much. I'll wing the rules myself.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, dear. Right, and that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. That's in everything.
In fairness, it took up more time than I expected. It took about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I suppose. That's something.
Considering last time it was about 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, we can waffle. That helps.
Yes, I like waffles, especially with maple syrup.
Oh, no, not maple syrup. No.
What, you don't like maple syrup? Seriously?
No. The best thing you put on waffles, if they're sweet waffles, I know it's basic, it's just good old-fashioned jam. Waffles with jam is just, it's fresh out the waffle maker, piping hot, jam out the fridge.
What kind of jam?
Strawberry is my preference, but
okay, fair enough.
But you are allowed other options. Other options exist and may be allowed, but strawberry is my choice. Or waffles with, if you're being really fancy, a scoop of ice cream as well.
Yeah, it's a given, yeah. Oh, but what about fried chicken? Chicken and waffles.
Not sweet. They're a very different type of waffle. You can't use the same waffle mix you use to make your sweet waffles.
No, you can.
Sweet.
Because the whole point is to get A, the combination of sweet and savoury, and B, it's meant to be a combination of both breakfast and dinner at the same time.
No, I don't like sweet and savoury on the same plate. It doesn't go.
Really?
Maybe I probably am just undiagnosed autistic.
You're not a fan of pork and apple then? No?
No, not a fan of applesauce at all.
Really?
No. Like I say, I'm probably undiagnosed autistic by how bad my taste in food is. At least I like things that aren't just beige. But I am not. I am picky with food. I always have been. So I will hold my hands up and say that's probably why. I don't even care.
Fair enough.
It comes with being. It just seems to be a thing with like half the trans people I know are autistic. So it's probably just a thing. There seems to be a correlation, not causation, but correlation. Oh dear.
Fair enough.
Right. What would you like to talk about? Just call me Cody Rhodes.
God.
Well, yeah, that's Cody's line when he's in the middle of a boring premise. What would you like to talk about? His name is Podcast as well. That's what that reference is.
Slight off tangent, still keeping with wrestling, but slight off tangent. Did you hear Beast Mortos is now a lawyer?
No, but Drew McIntyre is WWE champion. Whoop whoop! Big up.
Yep.
Moving on.
I do remember you saying that you did read through Silent King, didn't you?
I did. I made a point, as much as I keep not finishing this Anvils of the Heldenhammer novel and not finishing the Warhammer Crime Rattling and Ogrin novel. Like, I just cannot finish them. For love nor blummin' money, I cannot finish them. I made a point to go and read Silent King, so I had it ready for this episode, and I did. I blitzed it.
Right, so shall we dive in then?
Do we need a spoiler?
When did the book come out?
Oh, bloody hell. Now you're asking.
In which case, no, because if it's that long ago, you don't remember when it came out. The answer is no.
The book came out... I'm going to keep the voice going because it's really funny and annoy the audience. Go on Amazon. I can't fucking wait for Lexicon to fucking load. Fuck.
Jesus.
Oh, April 2025. Oh, it's been out since fucking April.
Nearly a year ago. Nearly a year ago, yeah.
How has it been out for nearly a year? Oh, no, it was released in July. That's a lie. It was released in July. Even though 6 months, fair game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, how many pages do you reckon the Silent King was on in this novel?
4.
Pretty much.
Seriously?
Pretty much.
Oh, it's like it's just like the Angron novel, isn't it? Because the Angron novel, he's in it for fucking 2.
How many words do you reckon the Silent King spoke in this novel?
3.
No, he doesn't talk. He's silent, obviously. Got him.
God, yeah.
Got him. But yes, his emissaries talk for about a page or 2. And that's about it.
For fuck's sake. So, didn't I say when that book first got announced, the first thing I said was like, I bet he shows up and does absolutely fucking nothing.
Oh, he does something.
Really?
Yeah, his ship blows up the Dawn of Fire.
I've forgotten what the Dawn of Fire even is.
Guilliman's flagship when they lost the McCragg's honour for a bit.
And then he got back from Huron.
Indeed. Okay. So, yeah, Guilliman's flagship blows up and Guilliman nearly dies.
Makes a change.
I know. So, base premise...
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
So, base premise, I haven't got a plot summary in front of me, so I'll do my best to remember. So, the book opens with a Adeptus Mechanicus explorator fleet going to try and dig around in the tomb world and fucking around and finding out. Because the explorators are busy, whilst the army tries to fight a Necron legion, and rather than sit around and wait, they go and try and attack them directly, and thus piss the Necrons off. The tomb world activates, they try to leave, and the Silent King's flagship appears and blows them up.
Wah, wah.
Well, we presume it's the Silent King's flagship. They make a point of some other overlord talk. I don't know if it is actually the Silent King's emissary. I forget exactly what their names are. But they make a point of, don't fuck around because there's this big-ass Necron fleet / vessel that can turn up and ruin your entire lunch. So, death.
Turn up and ruin your entire lunch. I've never heard that analogy before.
No, I've made that up on the spot. This causes the Mechanicus to grovel to Guilliman about the problem because it's within the Pariah Nexus. Guilliman is aware the Pariah Nexus exists, doesn't realise that there's such a problem because they didn't realise how much the Necrons were fucking everyone's shit up. Now he does. So he makes a point of, I'm going. Despite the fact that his Farseer advisor from Ivrain, whose name is basically Ilianastase, will not have it. It's Ilian Nataze, to be exact. It's not actually Ilianastase.
I think it is actually meant to be him, though, in fairness.
Yes, it's meant to be him.
It's like his retcon version.
Yes, it is. So he's an envoy of Eldrad Ulthran and the Inari in general, who basically like, don't do this, you will fucking die. And Gil's like, okay.
I already died once, bitch. I can die again.
I'm going to do it anyway. Meanwhile, Colquan, the tribune of the Custodes, sort of assigned to Guilliman, is like, seriously, Guilliman, stop trying to get yourself fucking killed. Because Guilliman keeps charging off into combat, doing maximum damage, and the Custodes are constantly chasing after him, like, protect him, don't let him get killed at the start.
That's our job.
Yeah. And Guilliman was like, I just want to fight, for fuck's sake. I just want to fight. Let me fight. And we do spend we do spend a bit of time with Guilliman actually in his chamber. We don't get into his head, but we at least get to spend a bit of time with him, and get a few things like rolling in terms of where his head's at and the stress he's going through. And he gets back together with what's his flipping Messinius as well. He pulls Messinius back, and basically Messinius and the Grey Shields are formally disbanded at this point, and Messinius is given a faction of Grey Shields to become his new
Is he
White
the White
Consuls.
Consul?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So the White Consuls lost their home world, etc., during, I think, the Noctis Aeterna, and he's given a chapter of Grey Shields, essentially, to reform the White Consuls, as well as being put in charge of a battle group when its actual leaders die. We also get to spend plenty of time with Van Lescus of Fleet Tertius, who has been around since book 1, I think, and Macorta Sound. So she was like the leader of Macorta Sound. So we get to spend some time with her as well.
Okay.
So there's plenty of that. There's a lot of bits that go on. There's a demonic incident within the greaser gangs on board one of the ships during warp transit, which is quite fun, seeing how a demon slips into this greaser's head, and he knows that he shouldn't, and he knows that it's bad and it's going to cost him everything, but he still can't resist, and he gets possessed, that he goes mad and he kills everyone. And there's a demonic incursion in that corner of the ship, which is dealt with by the Space Marines on board, but still not fun.
No.
So we basically get to see the beginning of 9th edition play out, but with Guilliman and Cawl and the Silent King all knocking about. Well, I say knocking about, showing up for 5 minutes. The base premise is they are going to use Cawl, because they've worked out the dampening effect of the Blackstone. They've realised what the problem is. So they want to send Cawl into a tomb world, whose name escapes me at this time, to go and shut it down, this area of the Prior Nexus down, so that the stilling effect is lessened. Meanwhile, Guilliman and Messinius, essentially, will both, well, Guilliman stroke Van Lescus stroke Messinius stroke the rest of the Imperial factions will launch 2 separate invasions of strategically important worlds not that nearby, in order to distract the Necrons so that Cawl can do his work without the Necrons swarming him.
Right, okay.
This works. I'll spare you the details, but this works. And Cawl, after much finicking around and, well, nearly the death of like a lot of people around him dying. Was Paradise the name of one of the systems? I feel like maybe. Anyway, Cawl succeeds, and Guilliman and his fleet essentially exterminatus an uber mega massive pylon to destroy it on the planet they go to, which is pretty cool. Hang on, I've just lost the tab I was on. But it then turns into like they win, or they achieve their objective, but at what cost? Pretty much. It is basically everybody dies. So the entire Necron, the entire Fleet Tertius, all of its elements are hammered to the point of wipeout. Van Lescus dies, and the other character we follow in the book, who's a sort of high ranking within Fleet Tertius, I think the name is it Diomed, or is that somebody else? Athajay, I think her name is, who is a character we've met in another book as well, dies on a suicide run, basically, to try and keep things going. Yeah, so Cassandra Van Lescus dies, and then what's her name? Eloise Athagay, the Commodore of Battlegroup Iolus, and the St. Asta ship, that also dies after she does. They take command and suicide charge, essentially, and die.
Right.
And the Silent King comes to Guilliman. And if I can find the page, I will read their entire conversation to you verbatim. I can just find the correct... That's the wrong book. If I can just find the correct chapter in the ebook, I will read it to you verbatim, pretty much.
Let me guess, it's like, die, monster, you don't belong in this world. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk, have at you!
Not quite. It's a little bit more than
That would
that.
have been fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
If they managed to slip in a Symphony of the Night reference, that would have been fantastic.
They did not. I'm just trying to find the correct chapter because this is all the death. I've got so much about the Imperial Navy dying and all the faithful warriors whose faith was able to sort of reduce the stilling effect dying. So there's all of that just dying in different books around them, and all the Cawl's faction dying pretty much, and Alpha Primus as well is basically dying.
But we know he survives because he's in fucking Gene Father.
Well, yes, but his psychic gifts are pretty bloody required. So
plot convenience, ladies and gentlemen.
Plot convenience. But yeah, the amount of speed by which things just go to hell is so fast. Like how these tomb ships just annihilate the Imperial fleet. Like I talked about in Blackstone Fortress, how quickly the Blackstone Fortress could rip ships apart. Yeah, it's that fast. Right. Here we go. Found it. So, from the top. Hear now this call to parlay, lesser beings, and be glad of my liege's mercy. I am Hapthatra the Radiant, Triarch of the Necrons, and servant of the Silent King. Cesaric is mighty, Cesaric is eternal, the breaker of gods and reshaper of worlds. Hear his name and waffle promo. Guilliman says, I shall listen to you. And Hapthatra says, you are wise. Do you speak for your species? I am regent of the Imperium. I shall speak for my people who rule this galaxy. Necron laughs. Your Imperium are primitives who squat on our worlds and plunder our resources. Your realm is nothing compared to the majesty of the Necron Star Empire. You are weak and growing weaker. Your technology is primitive. The worlds you occupy are few in this era. You are a race who has fallen and refused to acknowledge it. But at your peak, you would still have been nothing to us. Be grateful the Silent King is wise and just, or we would have destroyed you immediately without this offer of mercy. Then I assume you have not come here to surrender. Don't mock us, human. Then state your terms. Cesaric demands the following. You trespass in the sovereign territory of the Neolak dynasty who are fealty to us. Depart immediately. No attempt to penetrate the contra-empirical nexus shall be made. Any ship or colony within its bounds shall be destroyed. Return and your vessels and warriors shall be destroyed. What of the people who inhabited this sector? They are our property. They shall remain so in recompense for your actions. The remainder are permitted to live. As allies, then, of the great and powerful Necron people, we don't need allies. As friends, neither friends nor allies, but supplicants. Your populations and materials shall be tithed. Go now, and we shall make arrangements to receive an embassy from you at a time to be determined, with which we shall negotiate the surrender and subjugation of the Imperium of Man to the Necron Star Empire. We have fought and beaten many who sought to dominate us. They were destroyed. And then the Necron goes on a history lesson. In the past, our astromancers have reconstructed the quantum trails of your existence. Your history is known better to us than to you. You're a species far beyond its peak of power. You can't even end your petty civil war after 10,000 years. You are prey to the non-entities of the warp, and you have never, ever faced the likes of us, the true masters of this galaxy. Witness shows pictures of the Imperium getting murdered by the Necrons. This is the fleet you call Calades. See your defeats, they are beaten. But they live. It's in our power to stuff them out, and we shall stuff you out. Yet you haven't. They have penetrated this realm of yours, and they still fight. You bring evidence of your own limitations and present it as mercy. We shall not surrender, not now, not ever. Humanity has one master, yada, yada, yada. 10,000 years is not an eternity, human. Your master is an aberrant mutant, and you are his construct. You snarl at the face of true power, animal. The Silent King asks again, will you surrender? Never. Humanity is the master of the stars. Your time has passed. Very well. Examples of your kind will be maintained in the royal menagerie for posterity. The rest of you will be exterminated. End transmission.
See, I'm actually kind of disappointed that they didn't touch upon, that story from a few editions back where they made allusions to the fact that, oh yeah, the Silent King had met with Sanguinius back in the Heresy era.
I mean, yeah, hey, I met your brother.
They should have touched up. Yeah, that would have been a great little callback. They should have done that. Ugh.
But it's a great promo, and the "you can't even end a civil war after 10,000 years" is a banger of a line.
I mean, to quote Bobby Fish, where's the lie?
And your ruler is an aberrant mutant, and you are his construct. Mic drop.
Again, where's the lie?
Mic drop moment. And like Guilliman's like, well, he's just, but actually in human form. Well, they're not dead. Well, you haven't killed them. Yeah, but what about these people? Are they going to be your allies? What about your friends? It's just like, yeah, but what about? But what about? But we're going to win. But we're going to win anyway. They do not win anyway. The Dawn of Fire is blown up summarily. Guilliman barely escapes on his shuttle with a few people, including Cawl and Nataze and things like that. And then, yeah, Necrons win. Lol. Was pretty much that entire last 100 pages is pretty much just Necrons win. Lol.
Well, it's nice that the Necrons actually get to win something in the stories for a change,
and actually make it stick as well.
Yeah.
Although the last two chapters are the sort of epilogue, with Guilliman, Cawl, and a few others, Sicarius as well. So that's where Cawl upgrades Vicinius to a Primaris. So the whole last back end is basically Cawl asks Guilliman to leave and leaves him the Cawl inferior and says, yeah, this'll do. You want to talk to me, talk to this thing. So that was a fun conversation. It's like, I need to leave now to carry on with what I was doing because I worked out what was going on. Let me go and do it without being attached to your fleet because you're too big and cumbersome and you'll give away what I'm doing, essentially. And Cawl's like, I'm sorry you must bear the trials of leadership, and he isn't even being snarky about it. Because Cawl is apparently born with an empathy that has only grown more profound as the centuries ticked by, though he did his best to ignore it.
Well, they could have conveyed that in writing him in any of his fucking books, because hearing that and reading his books, it's anything fucking but.
Yeah, it's the will of the machine god that exceptional men must take up exceptional burdens, to which Guilliman, who is in ultra depressed after getting his ass handed to him by Cesarek, is like, so does, and every weak man who looks to a strong man to save him has always said that. And he's like, I don't like losing. And we lost. Guilliman is so fucking depressed about losing.
I lost? Wait a minute, that's not in the script. Let me see that.
And literally, he even says, written in genetic code. He thinks about the Primarch's propensity for rage, written in his genetic code in the Sancprimus Portum. Just like, yeah. And all these other things. And he does see the Emperor as the Omnissiah. I thought we knew that already, but either way. And Guilliman's like, well, we're stuck now between Chaos and Xenos. This was a bad loss. You'll persevere, I'm sure. Well, I have to, don't I? Preserving the ungrateful wretches of terror who work against me to guard their own power as the edifice that sustains them burns to the ground. And Guilliman then Cawl's like, my lord, are you all right? He's not calling him Guilliman or Reboot or Test Tube. He actually calls him my lord. He's that concerned about Guilliman. And Guilliman's like, Guilliman goes, sorry. What? What do you need? And then Cawl goes on a spiel about,
I need a hug.
Cawl's like, well, this is my plan. I've gained a great deal of insights and I can master their technology. And what I need is a test bed system with a minor warp rift that's predictable to test, which he chooses as 108 Beta Calipus 9 system, which is the Pit of Rorkos. So that's where Cawl's going next.
Mm-hmm.
But this is before they cross into So this is how Cawl tests, and the Pit of Rorkos is used as the stable gateway, because Cawl goes there first and tests it, I suspect. And he basically then says, go attack it, I need a distraction, basically. So Guilliman does. And we know the Triumph of Rorkos is where the Indomitus Crusade actually ends, if you recall.
Yep.
He then goes and has a test, and he says, I'm going to go play with it and try and get some Blackstones. You might remember there was a box game in 8th edition of Admet versus Necrons, all about acquiring Blackstone.
Yes.
Forge Break. Was it called Forge Breaker or something?
I think so. It was the one that debuted the Armagers.
Was it? Blimey, that's going back.
Because that's when, the little tiny baby knights.
Yes.
That's the Armagers, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Although he then goes on and talks about, right, I can't really do the transdimensional shit the pylons do. And Guilliman says, you could do this with human tech. And Cawl goes, technically, I guess, but the practical, to borrow your turn of phrase, it is basically impossible. And if we're to speak a minor blasphemy between ourselves, it's doubtful we could have done it anyway, even at the height of human tech. The Necrons are just that advanced. So he's basically saying, yeah, the Necrons are uber smart, even Dark Age humans were nowhere fucking close.
Yeah.
He then goes on about the other things and all this yada yada about catching up and assuming best case scenarios, crossing into Imperial Nihilus, etc., etc., etc. He says, I could do it in 300 years if I stayed with the fleet. He's like, no, which is why I need to ask you to leave. So he leaves, or he asks to leave and leaves the Cawl Inferior behind. And he goes, like, the Primaris Space Marines are proven inadequate. I am no longer needed. I have other work to attend to. More important work. Please let me go. No, don't say anything. I know it'll be difficult for you to see me go. You and I have such a close bond. And yes, of course, dear Reboot, you will miss my military genius, but you have thousands of other generals who together match my ability. Almost.
Humble, man.
And then Guilliman was like, please don't leave. I want to get out of the armor. And Cawl's like, you can't. I can't help you with that one. It might be if I stayed I could do it, but would you rather I prioritize your comfort or the fate of our species? And Guilliman's like, fine.
The funny thing is that in Dark Imperium, he's actually out of the armor in one scene. And then someone points out, hey, I thought he was meant to keep that on or he died. And then Guy Hay was like, oh shit, I need to write a short story to explain this.
Wasn't it Ivrain?
If Rain told him that he couldn't leave the armor, because she said if you leave the armor,
Paul's just said he can't leave the armor either.
Yeah, I know. But in Dark Imperium, again, he's just walking out of it. The person he ends up meeting up with, who tells him you can actually leave the armor, is Eldrad.
For fuck's sake. Okay.
It's in the short story Armor of Fate, for those wondering. Because that one scene in Dark Imperium was like a massive, massive fucking plot hole, and it was right at the start of 8th.
Yeah. And then Cawl
literally
goes,
a few months after the whole plot point was introduced.
Yeah, the fucking hell. Right, and then he goes on about, I'm giving you all my military assets. I don't need hundreds of thousands of Skitarii following me about and getting in the way. And as flattered as I am, there's an entire demi-household of knights pledged themselves to me. Knight armor takes up a lot of space, and aristocrats can be challenging to deal with, so you can have them as well. I'll keep a lance of them for laying it on thick about secret missions. They love that kind of thing. Anyway, don't worry about me. I'm not planning any planetary invasion, strictly research, and I'll maintain enough personnel. I'm too important to go out in the world without a few guns at my back. Just, Jesus fucking Christ, Cawl is so sarcastic.
And then he gets humbled by Fabius Bell a few books later.
Indeed. And then the final scene is between Guilliman and Sicarius, and Guilliman's like, if only I hadn't pursued Fulgrim, if only I hadn't broken the legions, if only. So Guilliman's like, fuck's sake, I fucked everything up. And then, yeah. Is there anything else I need to tell you? Something to do with Historitors. The Rubicon has been done to Massinia, so he's healing up, barely. And so on. Wait, no, hang on.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no, so ancient history, truly ancient, I will relay the tale another time. Oh, Guilliman knows his Roman history. That's why he knows why it's called the Rubicon Primaris. Guilliman
Okay.
knows who Julius Caesar was, apparently.
Fair enough.
Um,
Dad met him back in the day, you see. His name... this is back when Father was known as Pompey Magnus.
God.
It's what inspired him to name my brother Magnus in the first place. Hey.
Yeah. And then Guilliman has a chat with Massinius about the whole emperor worship thing, because the White Consuls did. He's like, well, we're not the Black Templars. Don't worry. He's like, do you not approve of us doing that, Father? He's like, I don't know. The Emperor was earnest that no man should worship him as a god. He was complex, hard to see. Do you understand? If you looked at him, you're never sure you saw the same person as you saw the time before. To different men, he appeared as different things, sort of excusing why the Emperor is so fucking different every time he's written down. I see this new world and I wonder if we were any better than the religions we destroyed. In the end, the imperial truth was a cover for a lie. There were gods after all, or things that called themselves gods. And when I saw him again in the palace, what I saw was so far from human. I will say no more, and you should be glad that I do not share with you. Basically, Guilliman's like, I am not talking to anyone about what happened in the throne room.
No, obviously.
And then he goes, so I don't know what I know, and if I'm to be true to my ignorance, then who am I to judge the beliefs of others? And then they get to talking, and then they go to talk about Mortarion, and that sets up the whole Dark Imperium set. And then the whole Pariah Nexus thing, and the chatting, establishing fleets, and so on and so forth. And he names him Fleet Master of Fleet Tertius and Warden of the Nephilim Sector, which is his character by the time we meet him in miniature form.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he gets a new chapter out of the Unnumbered Sons for himself. And then the final line is, go now and rest. When you are recovered, you shall begin the greatest labour of your life. I will ask everything of you, and with good cause, for it is only with the help of men like you that I can save this capitalized Dark Imperium.
Roll credits.
Roll fucking credits.
Sorry, wrong show.
Indeed. So that's how it ends. I wanted to read a lot verbatim. I don't normally do that because Cawl's dialogue and the Silent King dialogue are fucking hilarious. But also it's the best insight into Guilliman's head I think we've ever really had.
Fair enough.
So yes. Was the Dawn
it a
of
good
Fires...
book, though?
I read it quickly and I didn't get too bored with it most of the time. And I was curious. I think the hook kept me reading. And as much as that hook lasted for all of 5 seconds, at least it came right at the end and at least was a satisfying perp to see the Imperium actually fucking lose.
So, since you've read the entire Dawn of Fire series now, was the series worth it?
Dawn of Fire was hard to read, but a good book. If it was structured better, I would say good.
I mean, they're all Dawn of Fire, aren't they?
Sorry, Avenging Sun.
Thank you.
Gate of Bones was good, just unqualified. Wolf Time, despite my biases, was pretty good. I can't even remember the name of the fourth one. Oh, Martyr's Tomb was probably the least necessary because it set up the Hand of Abaddon plotline and not much else. It was fine. It did what it was. Iron Kingdom with the Night World was brilliant. Really enjoyed that one. I think I'm maybe in the minority. Then 6, 7, and 6. Iron Kingdom, or is that 7? No, that was Sea of Souls. Iron Kingdom was 5. I've just said that in hell. What was 6? I can't even. What was the 6th one? Bloody hell! I can't even remember what the 6th one was called. That should tell you everything you need to bloody well know. It was called. Come on, let's go. Oh, that was Martyr's Tomb. I've completely got them mixed up. Book 4 was Throne of Light, where they introduced the Star Child into the mix again. Yeah, those two, like Throne of Light and Martyr's Tomb, didn't vibe with them all that much, if I'm completely transparent. And the whole Star Child plotline went fucking nowhere. Sea of Souls was very good, albeit didn't pay off very well because the whole Hand of Abaddon plotline, which was the entire second to last book, Hand of Abaddon, great book as well, great setup for where it's going. The Anathema is back in play, didn't show up at all. That plotline's just been left hanging, so they'll pick that up in probably 12th edition. And Silent King was a good read. So is it a good series worth reading? Yes. Can you skip a couple of them? Probably. Probably Throne of Light and Martyr's Tomb you could probably skip. Wolf Time is a very standalone novel. You could probably skip it for plot progression. But I think it is still worth reading. I think you have to read Avenging Sun. I think you have to read Gate of Bones. You have to read Iron Kingdom. Sea of Souls is a probable, and Hand of Abaddon you should also read. Although the Guilliman plotline only really runs through Avenging Sun and Silent King. Guilliman doesn't show up a lot in the middle. But where he does, the sort of characters tangential to him are in like Hand of Abaddon, a little bit with the Custodes in Gate of Bones and Wolf Time. I think that's a really interesting setup. Iron Kingdom carries on Gate of Bones directly, so really need to be read with both of them together. And Sea of Souls and Hand of Abaddon need to be read together. But Sea of Souls also is a nice setup for what's going on with the wider Crusade, so worth a read. I think, yeah, skip Throne of Light, skip Martyr's Tomb, in my personal opinion. So they're not bad books, they're just skippable and a bit forgettable. The rest of them are at least worth your time to read if they're on discount. You don't need to have bought them outright, but they're decent.
Fair enough. Right, shall we jump into the questions?
Yes, because somehow I managed to talk for nearly 40 minutes about that book. I'm impressed with myself. Didn't you say you were reading something, or do you want to save that?
I'm going to say I've started reading through Ashes of the Imperium. I'm only about a quarter of the way through so far, so I'll talk about more next episode.
Okay, bench it. Right.
Yeah.
Remind me, did you and I really do questions, or do I need to do 2 episodes worth of questions?
We did. We only had like the one question last episode, I believe.
And I'll be completely honest. Oh no, there is 1 or 2. Yeah, there's a few.
Okay.
Right. So. This is one for you because you've read more, if not all of them. What is the funniest moment in the Horus Heresy, intentional or otherwise?
Oh God.
In your...
I'll tell you what it is. It's during the Siege of Terror series where you got Alanius Pius and his Argonauts. They're traveling in like an Arvis land or whatever, and this is after they picked up Cyrene Valantian and Ingo Peck of the Alpha Legion, but Ingo Peck's still referring to himself as Alfarius. And he goes like, I am Alfarius.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, if you say it one more time, I'm opening the airlock and killing us all. that was hilarious.
Okay, here's a Rem question. Would you consider Nurgle to be a life god? At least in 40k.
It's part of what GW changed him in more recent editions to make him like a god of like life, death, and rebirth, which I don't necessarily like it because I think it kind of like goes against the entire original concept of him being tied with stagnation, because like a constant wheel doesn't seem to be stagnation. I mean, I've had some people in the comments like make a case for it to be like kind of like running on a treadmill, so like you're not going anywhere. So in a way, that is stagnation. But to me, it doesn't vibe like stagnation. You know what I mean? So yeah. I personally don't like the idea of him being life, death, and rebirth because it goes against the rivalry between him and Tzeentch because like Nurgle is meant to be stagnation and Tzeentch is change, which is why they are universal diametric opposites. So
yeah, like Nurgle should be you will never die.
Yeah,
almost,
or you will never live.
Like yes,
you'll be playing World of Warcraft for the rest of your life,
and live, die, repeat. As you go through the cycle, the wheel of life, you will, in ways, evolve. You might not realize it, but you will change and you will evolve, whether that's your strategies, your outlooks, things will change.
Life experience, yeah.
Absolutely. So that is, yeah, I think that's a fair point. Yeah. I got a question as well, which was about, do flesh-eater courts feed the great horned rat by accident? Which is like, as he's a god of desperation and selfish survival. So I don't know exactly how it works in terms of how the Skaven feed the Great Horned Rat, because the Flesh Eater Courts are not desperate, selfish survivors. They're noble knights who,
in their own minds.
They're a god of their god is Usharan, the god of delusion, almost, and madness, which is more in line with, well, Tzeentch, to be completely honest.
I mean, it's entirely possible for, like, in doing something in service to one god, you're inadvertently, powering up another. Because that was something they actually did tie into Slaanesh. Like, anything you do in excess will fuel Slaanesh. So, like, yeah. So if you're like, a Khorne berserker, chosen of Khorne, and you're doing excessive bloodshedding, you are powering up both Khorne and Slaanesh. Because, like, blood for Khorne and excess for Slaanesh. So it does happen.
Yeah. The race that you would expect that would actually empower the Great Horned Rat by accident is the Gloomspite gets, right? Because Gorka Morka.
But hey.
Well, I mean, in AOS, I don't know so much about selfish survival versus the Sigmarite greater good. Sorry.
There was one great example I did read about. Like, if you like, there's like a famine, for instance, and like, a couple are forced to eat their own children simply to avoid dying of starvation. That empowers the Horned Rat.
That makes sense. Desperate survival.
Yeah, you're being forced to act like vermin, essentially.
Whereas the ghouls, while they are utterly vile and abhorrent and cannibalistic, are not doing it out of necessity or desperation to live. They don't even realise they're doing it most of the time.
Yeah, it's more a case of like, hey, join us for a great feast at the castle. We're having venison, except the venison's a rotting person.
Yes, and by riding our noble steed to cast down the intrepid interlopers into our realm, it's going on a run around and smashing up everything so we can eat their skin and wear it as a hat.
We're going for some falconry, and the falcons are actually bats.
Yeah, literally. Actually, that's genuinely. Yeah. I think there's a warband about that.
Was a model, yeah. That was a model, yeah. The Royal Falconer.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I feel like there was another one that I just need to scroll past because I changed it from the top comments to recent comments. Hold on.
Oh, God, I hate when YouTube just changes things arbitrarily. Apparently, you can't even search for videos by newest anymore. It's ridiculous. It's just like top.
I've set it to find new. It goes to top automatically, but I've set it to newest.
Right.
Just so I can see that anything that got hidden by accident. So yeah, that's actually it in terms of questions. Oh God, I'm sorry.
That's in terms of questions. Sorry.
Fuck off. Come back to me when you've had kids, and then you can talk to me about being tired.
Mate, I can't have kids. You know that.
I know. But I'm being snarky because I'm tired. I'm cross. All right.
Well, since it's getting late for you then, and given how long we've been running for, we'll call it there for this episode. A little bit shorter than usual, but Neve needs her beauty sleep.
Also, there's a preview on Friday, so we'll have loads to talk about next time, right?
Hopefully. It depends how much that she's shown. It's probably
Who fucking knows? We shall see. Anyway.
Hopefully, it'll be good, yes. So, thank you very much to everyone who tuned in for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, this has been Remleiz from 40k Theories.
And this has been Neve from Tactica Imperialis.
And we'll see you all again next time. Bye-bye.